that's it.
That's
oh,
if that goes,
that's right. Focus, energy forward.
So if something goes, you got that's it. That's better. You go in, you go out. You go out. You follow it. You follow out. That's it. I mean, that's a big gap. Wrong answer. No, don't be too quick to go low.
No.
High, yes. Low, no.
No.
Do. You're very wary to go low. You're going to hit low, you've got to understand something.
You've got to understand what's happening.
You're leaving your head open.
That's right. If you know what you're doing, you can take that chance, but if you don't, then
you know that, yes. What am I doing there?
Just using the structural
I'm taking throwing your elbow outside your structure. So therefore you've got no strength.
No physical either from that position.
So when you use your strength to bring it in, and take it across you.
That's fine, I use it again.
So the strength, that's it, so the strength you're using, if I take that out, the strength you're using to bring it in, I'll let you go, so you're taking it across. And the strength you have to use to bring it back, I'm taking, and I'm doing with both elbows at the same time. So that one goes out. When you bring that one in, well, you're not doing it out exactly. What I'm doing is I'm taking both elbows. I'm taking this one out. When you bring that one in, taking that one out. I take that one and you bring that one in. I'm taking both elbows out at the same time. So there's neither elbow. I'm taking care of both elbows. So I'm controlling both elbows. So then both elbows are in a position where you can't use yourself there. This one can't be used this way. This one can't be used that way.
Yeah,
you can't. That's it. Because your elbow is out. And this one, your forearm's pointing this way. When you sort of get shifting, I take it this way. So this one's out this way, and that forearm's pointing this way.
So it's immediately to the weakest position.
So I'm not allowing you to get any gain when you're doing it this way. The weakness of it is you can take this hand with a pack and come over here, well, I mean that's just basically a gum or a pack or whatever. And then you're falling off. That's what you've got to be aware of when you're taking elbows out.
Yeah.
You're taking elbows out of that position, out of that structure, away from the stance. They can't be used.
Makes them weak. How can you resist against it? Without the strength. But if you're pushed into that position there,
you just got to be more flexible around your elbows.
More sensitive.
Yes.
To feel that that's coming on. I know there's no way out of the position though. It's not an actual position. I mean, there's no way out of that theory when you're being pushed out and held.
No, but I mean,
you've got to be more aware it's happening.
It's not something that I've been taught. It's something that I teach. Therefore, because it hasn't been taught to me, there's nobody who knows it who can do it to me.
Yeah.
It's my own idea, it's my own concept type thing, so it's a very difficult thing. So from there, if you try and take my elbow out, basically, if you try and push it out this way, I'll just drop it. If you push it out this way, push the elbow out to there so I can't do it, I'll drop it inside. If you try to take my elbow across, then I'll just use it.
Yeah.
So if you, again, you push out on the elbow that way, this way, then I come inside it, you bring it across, then I'll use it this way. It's about being able to pivot around your elbow, being able to understand around the elbow. That's it. So, I mean, that's what I've been trying to go for, is an understanding of controlling elbows, but also understanding my own elbow.
exactly weak.
I should
Or they can
understand
do where they
where,
are strong straight away.
I should understand how, where the elbows,
Well, you've got to
understand
do-
my side and your side, about where your elbows are.
Avoid strong positions all the time.
Yeah. Take this idea of using hands and grabbing, right? Now, what I tend to do, it switches on and off. I'm pushing and pulling, using that. Knowing we don't do. Right. From here, that's your position. Let's do bone tap. That's your position. Now, if I drop to there, carry on. I'm actually weaker. Because from here, from this position, if you decide to punch out this way, me structure, it's bad structure. Why do I do it with this way? Because it gives an extra sensitivity, because there's more control. What I tend to do is I tend to do this. I use it over a very short time period. So when I'm rolling, I grab and release, especially if I'm doing it to somebody who is of a high standard. I'm not being funny here, but you appreciate what I'm talking about. The higher the standard the person is, the less hands I use. Because if you use hands, it tends to take your elbow further out. From there, if you see that difference between that and that, it's a great deal of difference, defense-wise, of that and that. But what it means is that I can actually use more and switch. So what I do is I tend to switch on and then switch back. And I change between the two. Either pulling down or I can push. But I normally, what I tend to do, is to come back to this position defensively. So I'll use them and I'll create a position, I'll create a tension, and then come back in case you do fire out. If you fire out, there's no gap there. There's a gap. There's not.
Yeah.
So what you've got to be able to do, if I bring it on and fire that out again, there's no gap there.
It's too smaller amount of time.
That's it. So I'm reducing the amount of time rather than doing this.
A chance to make them fire out a very little.
That's it. So it's a mixture of this way. It gives you greater control, which is again a weakness in defence.
Yeah.
Then what actually sort of I do is I move between the two. So I'll fire these type of things on. And being sort of centred on feeling, control, and centre line.
Yeah.
Not always down, not always back. It can go in.